What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to drop my 15-hour Chinese update because it's actually quite surprising what you can reach with 15 hours of active study. I already knew this, but I've been doing the Dreaming Spanish challenge for so long now that I forgot that, 15 hours is actually a lot of time. So yeah, we're going to do the update, and then I guess in another 15 hours, I'll do another update. So let's begin. 大家好，欢迎回来看我的频道。今天我想继续我上一个用中文讲世界语的视频。你可能还记得我在2周前，讲了我最喜欢的爱好，那个爱好就是世界语。今天我想继续那个话题。现在我觉得我可以，更深入的讨论这个话题，因为我过去这2周一直在练习这个话题，我一直在学习新的词汇，新的专业词汇，我也提高了我的中文语法，但是还有很多的问题，我知道。好的，上一个视频的主题是什么？是世界语。世界语它到底是什么？世界语是我们来看它的名字，它的名字是世界语，有2个部分。第一个部分世界，那个是世界上，我们世界上的世界，对不对？还有语，它是语言的语，所以世界语是世界上的语言。现在我知道你可能在想，世界上的语言是什么？那一定是英文，对不对？不是，它不是英文，它是一种非常特别的语言，它是一种人工语言。意思是这门语言不是自然的，它是创造的、设计的，它有一个创造者。今天我想讲这个语言，因为它对我来说非常重要。好的，为什么 Evildea 你想学习一种人工语言？没有用，它没有经济价值，对不对？虽然你说的都对，但是对我来说有奇怪的东西总是对我很有意思。好的，现在我想告诉你们一些世界语的事。世界语是由一位波兰人于1887年创造的。这个语言的创造者，他住在波兰的他的城市是华沙，他住在华沙，波兰的华沙。为什么他想创造这门语言？他发现了他注意到了，在他的城市里有很多的人，这些人他们只会说他自己的语言，因为他们都有不同的民族，他们是不同的民族。好的，他们总是说他们自己的语言，因为他们不想跟别的民族说话，不想跟他们交流，他们常常发生冲突。所以这个人他的名字是柴门霍夫，他觉得我们需要一种新的中立的语言，所以他创造了世界语。现在我想告诉你们，为什么Evildea 我想学习这么奇怪的语言。我的故事开始于2010年，那时候我住在一个很小的城市。这个不是城市，是一个小镇，还有它附近的军营。我住在那个军营，因为那时候我在澳大利亚军营服役。在这个地方，我每天都跟我的同事们出去喝啤酒、看电影、买东西，但是那个对我的人生总是没有意义，所以我觉得我真的想提升自己，所以我不知道为什么我决定学习一种语言，但是有一天我做了这个决定，我说现在我想学习一种新的语言。 首先我不知道我应该学哪种语言，所以我问了我周围的人，他们都说你应该学习法语，因为法语是一种非常重要的语言，所以我开始学习这门语言。开始学习这门语言以后，我发现了我真的不喜欢它，因为它的发音不好听，它的语法很奇怪，所以我说我不想再学习这门语言了。以后我不知道我做了什么，但是有一天我在网上我找到了一个一篇关于世界语的文章，这个文章说世界语是世界上最容易学的语言，所以我觉得我想现在学习这门语言。如果我不能学会这门语言，当然那么我当然不能学会其他的语言，对不对？所以我开始学习这门语言。好的，现在我不知道我想说什么。I think that's enough. You know what? That's enough. I just looked up at the camera. I noticed I've been going for 6 minutes. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good update so far. I'm not looking forward to subtitling this, but I will try. There's a lot of mistakes. I noticed actually in the back end, I started to get like a little bit more lost for words. So I feel like I need to focus more on talking about, my life while I was in the army there and stuff like that. Now, I want to show you guys how I've been doing this, because that's probably what you care about most. Now, first up, in this video, there will be a link in the description, and I'm going to be constantly updating this. And this is what you see on the screen right here. You can see how many hours I've been putting in per day, and you'll see minutes of input. I've actually done no input for Chinese for the last, how many days is this? 11 days. Oh, actually, I thought it was 2 weeks. Jesus, okay. So for the last 11 days, I've done no input. All I've done is my Anki reviews over here, and basically sentence mining / working with AI, and then also, asking my wife every now and then about specific structures and sentences. And you can see I've done 15 hours, 15.63 hours, okay? And right here is basically a description of what I literally did on every single day. And you can see at this point here, where is it? I wiped out my Anki closed deck and I started fresh because I wanted to actually focus on a new, well, it's not new, okay? It's just a new way of dealing with Chinese for me. And I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so as you can see right here, if I click on Chinese chunks right here, and then I just go to browse, I'll show you what it looks like, okay? So I'm just going to select something random in here. Let's just go with this right here. As you can see, that's a full sentence, but that is not. That's a specific word. It's probably better if I preview this, okay? So let's just go find something that I can preview. As you can see, I've been practicing specific structures and stuff, minority groups, European minority groups. There's actually a ton of stuff in here I did not say at all in that video because I'm not memorizing a speech. I'm working on memorization of chunks and then also practicing specific grammar structures around those chunks. So for example, if I come down to here, you'll see I'm practicing, this interested in, not interested in, to have strong opinions about these types of structures. And you'll see ... here, and this is a closed statement. So if I was to preview this, so where's the preview button? Okay, so to have strong opinions about something, then I would sit here and I'd go, okay, 我对这个电影很有想法. And then I would go, okay, let's see if this is right. Let's go enter.
对，很有想法。
对，很有想法. And then I've got an AI voice going in here. Now, I'm going to warn you guys straight up, okay? So I'm at an intermediate level of understanding with Mandarin Chinese, and this is actually not that complex of a structure, but I haven't really practiced Chinese structures before because I've never really had a need to. I could always just fumble my way through a conversation, but I'm trying to work on that now. But you'll notice I'm using an AI voice, okay? And I've shat on people buying AI decks. What you need to be aware of is you need to be able to pronounce the language before you start listening to these AI voices, because there is certain words that AI will get in Chinese wrong. It will say the tones wrong, okay? And I can pick up on that. So when I hear that, I can just account for that with my cards. I'm like, okay, well, I know it's pronouncing it wrong. So I can just work with that. because I know the tone of the character. Okay, so I've learned that. I've gone out, I've learned that, I know how to do it. So instead, what I'm doing here with like the AI voice coming up is just kind of to get the rhythm of it and also to hear it as I practice it type of thing. And this is what I'm doing. I'm working with chunks. So this is not a complete sentence, although I do have some of them in here. Instead, this is a chunk that represents a specific grammatical structure. And then when that pops up, as you saw, I'll make up some scenario in my head and I'll use it. Now, normally I'll make up like 2 or 3 and then I'll move on type of thing. Okay, depending on how confident I feel with that. But in other instances, I will actually have a complete sentence like this one right here. I want to continue my video from 3 weeks ago where I spoke Chinese and Esperanto. You see, I didn't use this structure in the video. I used something different again, because by practicing this structure and then practicing a bunch of more of them around this structure, my brain actually adapts and realizes what parts can be swapped in and out. So yes, I am to a degree, you might say, memorizing specific sentences, but I'm memorizing more chunks, and then it allows my brain to easily grab these pieces and slot them together on the fly. Now, obviously, that's going to result in specific grammar mistakes and stuff, and I encourage people to let me know what mistakes I make in the comment section below, and then I will add those as additional chunks that I need to focus on, okay? And you can see I've also kind of categorized these. You know, I've got things about fighting, grammar, time. Oh, you're going to notice, you see how many I've got about video? I actually, for the first, I think 3 days, I was actually practicing talking about, you know, videos in past tense, present tense, future tense, because it's not something I really needed to say before. I always would say, you know, 在这个视频里, like, you know, in this video, but I would never really need to practice talking about a video from the past and the contents of that video and, you know, slotting a whole heap of interesting extra information in between or my plans for videos in the future. It's not something I needed to do. So I actually spent a shite ton of time just focused on talking about, you know, videos, even though that was not the topic of this topic. It's something that I had to learn in order to start off that video. And the great thing is, in the future, when I move on to new topics and stuff, I'll be able to just reuse all this. And that's the whole idea. I'll eventually have enough chunks in my brain that I'll just be able to talk about most specific topics. Like, what was the very first thing I learned or I practiced learning? So most of you, okay? And then funnily enough, in the bottom right-hand corner, in the top left right-hand corner, and I think the reason for that was because I wanted to say something like, 如果我有说错的方面，请在评论区告诉我。如果我发现我有说错的地方，我把它们放在屏幕，左上角, you know, something like this, you know, like, so I'm practicing these. And even at the moment, you can still see I'm a little bit like, I'm not great with them, but I am starting to get a lot more fluent with them. Like the first time I was practicing this, it would take me a minute to get the structure out because my brain was literally processing every little bit of it. But now, as you saw, I was actually kind of able to get that out, like fluidly, but not quite yet. Give it another 11 days and I reckon that shit would just fall off the tongue. I was practicing a whole heap of stuff around actually talking about languages, like even just the classifiers and stuff for languages, just like getting them fluent because, and also with videos because like I didn't know the difference between 一个视频 and 一期视频. Like I didn't know what the difference was, so I had to go like learn what those classifiers mean, even though that didn't come up in the video. So there's like a ton of stuff that I've had to cover off. Now, I know I'm going to get this question. People are going to ask me in the comment section, Evildea, can I have your deck? No, you cannot have my deck. And the simple reason of the matter is, or the simple reason why I'm not going to give it to you is because this is relevant to me, okay? When you use Anki, and I think this is where most people go wrong, is they use generic decks that have absolutely no connection with what they've studied or what they're practicing or anything like this. So I will not share this deck because it's useless for you. And plus, it probably has errors in it, and I don't want to be responsible for you learning errors. If I learn an error, that's fine. I will work on correcting that later on. So this is custom built for what I'm trying to do at this time. Now, I think for the next 11 days or so, I will continue practicing this same topic, and then that will probably drop around the same time as the Dreaming Spanish video, and then we'll select a new topic after that, because I'm pretty sure in another 11 days, I'm going to be able to talk about Esperanto like not super in depth, but in enough depth that I could explain it to someone and why I learned it and stuff like that, okay? So anyway, just wanted to share that with you all. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. And please, if you enjoyed this series, make sure you sub. I actually look at the subs per video to see what people want to watch, okay? So if this is the type of stuff you want to watch, sub, and it tells me.